Hi, my name is Callan Fabina, and this is my Ignite project over what I learned during the Studies in American Literature course this spring term. This is a picture of all the books that I brought with me to college. If you can't tell, these are all fiction novels. There are a few historical fiction and a few that have commentary, but nothing directly based on a true story. Well, some of the books I got for this class were not physical copies. This class brought a lot more books to my collection here in Utah, and at this point I don't have any more space on my tiny shelves to fit all of them. Before this class, I think I had a bit of discomfort with more nonfiction books, even though I was comfortable with political or social commentary that I found in some of the books that I already had, like We Are Not Free. What broke the ice for me was Citizen, an American Lyric. The subject was nonfiction, but it was presented, in my opinion, in a less threatening format. The use of poetry made the topic easier for me to digest. After being exposed to that one novel, I felt a lot more comfortable picking up books of this genre and fashion, and I have a growing list as I do more research. As much as I tried to pick a less personal topic for my curiosity project, I couldn't. I had books in my reading list, and the topic still fresh on my mind, and I felt like it was the best option for me to get the most out of the project. My curiosity project covers the topic of sexual assault. It being a personal topic for me, I thought it would be a good opportunity to explore the different types of media in a very controlled way. Since I am involved with communities that cover issues surrounding sexual assault, coming up at the end of winter semester, there was an online phenomenon that was called Sexual Assault Day, where those participating were trying to say that on that day that behavior was legal and valid. I couldn't stop thinking about that, and how many people seemed to be for it. Why were people actually on board with this mentality? What are the consequences of giving those people the validation towards illegal and immoral behavior? The project and the tools that we learned how to use through the discussions allowed me to tackle these books in a way that was actually productive. Without that control, I wouldn't have been able to encounter the media that I chose without having to walk away, leaving the project incomplete. Oddly enough, though the skills provided for understanding the media we read collectively or for our own projects were meant to help us connect to the material personally, I found it kept my emotions in check. I'm an English major, with a focus primarily in creative writing, so I love to read in general. My favorite authors focus on less direct forms of commentary or satirical commentary, such as Neil Gaiman. This class has helped me as a writer to focus more equally on the correlation between author and their lives and experiences and what that does to influence their work, rather than viewing those things as separate. I'm hoping that going forward that I continue to have a more in-depth relationship with the books that I read, rather than just a few of my favorites that I know I automatically connected with and understood, like Neil Gaiman. Poetry also played a bigger part of the class than I anticipated. The first two pieces of media we focused on were collections of poetry, and several people used poetry in their guest DJ presentation. Since the beginning of the class, poetry has stuck out to me more than it had before when I came across it in my day-to-day life. Even if it's not the most influential or well-known piece, I find myself thinking about it longer. On a different note, this type of media has also opened more opportunities for me when it comes to my spiritual growth as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For me, the Book of Mormon is personally my least favorite book in the quad, since I felt like I got the least out of it. With the combination of a humanities course this spring, I've started studying in unison with a series of books that helped analyze the content. So, to wrap up, at the start of this class, I thought of myself as creative and curious, but this allowed me to go even deeper into my studies and understanding of what I encounter. Thank you, Professor Rowan.